Always two there are, no more, no less. A master and an apprentice.
Be mindful of the living force, young Padawan.
You will be tempted by the dark side of the force.
One must destroy in order to create.
Master, it's been a while. Things have changed. Sometimes we have to do what's right.
Confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi.
Buckle up. Never be afraid of who you are.
Pass on what you have learned. We are what they grow beyond. That is the true burden of all masters.
Ahsoka, 2-episode premiere streaming August 23rd on Disney+.
Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up, guys? Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and welcome to my new Ahsoka teaser breakdown video. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hop right on into it. Of course, just having seen that new trailer for the Ahsoka series, it showcases many other scenes and characters from other Star Wars media, from other shows, from other movies as well. In this video, we are going to be taking a read from the Direct's article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. As a read, Jedi warriors like Yoda, Rey, and more took the spotlight in the most recent trailer for Star Wars' upcoming Ahsoka series. Since Disney took Star Wars into the streaming world with Disney+, only a couple of projects have focused primarily on the Jedi after they played prominent roles across the entirety of the Skywalker saga movies, and after Order 66 was brought back into the forefront during a flashback scene with the Jedi from The Mandalorian Season 3, fans will get even more Jedi action when the franchise returns to Disney Plus in the near future with the Ahsoka series just around the corner. A new 1-minute trailer for Ahsoka has highlighted 12 different Jedi seen across Star Wars history, highlighting the relationship between masters and apprentices. The namely title Masters and Apprentices, this new spotlight featured specific Jedi dialogue scenes from multiple characters, including a classic Master Yoda lesson from Episode 1 of The Phantom Menace about the Sith rule of two. Always two there are, no more, no less. A master and an apprentice. I really believe that one of the main focuses, however, though, about this trailer and this kind of like overall teaser, it kind of showcases what the Ahsoka series is really going to do. And I have been preaching this here on the channel time in and time out for the last couple of months now for the Ahsoka series, that it is going to be the new quote-unquote world building kind of show here for Star Wars. We saw the Mandalorian series dabble a little bit into that with the Mandalorian Season 2, but mostly with the third season of The Mandalorian, having dealt with so many different characters, and not just Din and Grogu necessarily as the main characters. It was kind of a whole argument among the Star Wars community of who the show really belonged to by the time of the third season of The Mandalorian, but also with the finale of The Mandalorian Season 3, we also saw it kind of go back to a quote-unquote soft reboot of where they kind of wrote out the rest of all the characters, all the other Mandalorians mostly, brought them and put them back on their own homeworld, Mandalore, and kind of sent them on their way, giving the show back to just Din Djarin and Grogu. So where does that whole world building aspect of things go to? That goes right to the Ahsoka series, and we're already seeing it. There's multiple main characters: Sabine, Hera, Chopper, if you want to count him as a main character, Ezra Bridger, Thrawn, and Ahsoka herself. Really just everybody with the Ghost crew that we saw throughout Star Wars Rebels. And also, I just feel as if it's my kind of duty to do as a Star Wars fan to throw out there that, hey, maybe this new teaser trailer not only just sets up things for this overall show, the Ahsoka series being a world building kind of show here, but also with the fact of that, hey, maybe these other characters can make cameos or have references throughout the series. We already got an official Anakin Skywalker name drop in the official trailer for Ahsoka, so that is for sure going to be in the show. Maybe we'll see a Force Ghost appearance or even a flashback scene as previously rumored. But the first character that we see in this new teaser trailer is Luke Skywalker, arguably the leading character of the entirety of the Star Wars franchise, Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker is a poster child for the Jedi, with appearances in 7 entries for Lucasfilm over the past 46 years. First serving as an apprentice under Yoda during the events of the original trilogy, Luke would later then become his sister, Leia Organa's master, during her training before imparting his wisdom to Ben Solo, Rey, and Grogu. Which brings us to our second character seen in this teaser, Grogu himself. One of the newest Jedi to come into the picture is the Mandalorian's baby Yoda, better known as Grogu, after the youngling displayed a connection to the Force early in Season 1 of The Mandalorian. In 2020's Chapter 16, The Rescue, Grogu went to begin his training with Luke Skywalker, although he would find his way back to Din Djarin's care and eventually become more of a Mandalorian foundling in the 3rd season of the show. Grogu's whole story is a work in progress, but I'm very excited to see it out. The next character is Obi-Wan Kenobi. First played by Alec Guinness in the original trilogy, Ewan McGregor carried on the Jedi's legacy as Obi-Wan Kenobi in the 21st century with roles as both the Master and the Apprentice. Originally serving as Qui-Gon Jinn's apprentice in Episode 1, he would serve as the Jedi Master for both Anakin Skywalker in the prequel trilogy and his son, Luke, in Episode 4, A New Hope. Speaking of Anakin Skywalker, as I mentioned earlier on, playing a central figure throughout Star Wars and being the chosen one, arguably the main character for the first 2 trilogies and various TV shows, is Hayden Christensen's Anakin Skywalker, arguably the most powerful and most influential Jedi in history. Having originally learned the ways of the Force under Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin would serve as sort of an unofficial master for Ahsoka Tano during the events of Star Wars The Clone Wars animated show and movie, and their relationship will be explored further in the upcoming Ahsoka series, whether it's just simple name callbacks or actual flashbacks, or maybe a Force Ghost appearance. I can't wait to see what they have with that. Qui-Gon Jinn. Episode 1 introduced fans to Liam Neeson's as Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn, as the film detailed his complicated relationship with the Jedi Council. That movie also showed him on his way out after having lost his duel with Darth Maul. Qui-Gon took on Obi-Wan Kenobi as his own Jedi apprentice before Darth Maul killed the Master at the end of the movie, although he'd later return in Force Ghost form during the events of the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series. Ahsoka Tano herself, of course, is going to be showcased in the Ahsoka show's teaser, so the next Star Wars character in the Jedi legacy that will take the spotlight is Ahsoka Tano, as Rosario Dawson finally gets her chance to lead her own solo story in the upcoming Ahsoka series, learning the ways of the Force thanks to her tutelage under Anakin Skywalker during the Clone Wars, and it also appears that she'll try to impact some of her own wisdom to Sabine Wren, despite her not actually being Force sensitive. Yoda as well, first coming into the picture with Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, the Jedi Master Yoda took a position as one of the oldest and most powerful Jedi warriors in existence. While he was never actually seen as an apprentice himself yet, Yoda served as the Jedi Master for many great Jedi warriors across the Star Wars franchise, including Count Dooku, Mace Windu, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and much more. Whether you like it or not, it's still on the list, and we see it in the teaser, Rey Skywalker. First introduced in Episode 7, The Force Awakens, Daisy Ridley's Star Wars hero Rey was developed as part of the new class of Jedi fighters continuing the franchise legacy for years to come. First discovering her abilities with the Force early in the sequel trilogy, she became an apprentice to Luke Skywalker before taking the Skywalker name, and she'll be a master for a new generation of Jedi in her own upcoming solo movie as well. Baylan Skoll. I want to make another video discussing both of these characters, Baylan and Shin Hati, who's his apprentice in the Ahsoka series. However, these two characters are described as not Sith or necessarily even bad guys, but are described more as Dark Jedi. Making his debut in Ahsoka thanks to a performance by the late Ray Stevenson will be Baylan Skoll, a former Jedi Knight who will also work closely with Grand Admiral Thrawn. And as I had mentioned, Baylan will also have his own apprentice in the series named Shin Hati, and while he'll work closely with Thrawn in the series, it's still unclear if fans will find out who his own master is in the long Sith/Jedi history. Shin Hati being next on the list is a former Jedi warrior that will be active on the hunt for Ezra Bridger, with history noting that she'll actually duel Sabine Wren. She'll serve as the apprentice for Ray Stevenson's Baylan Skoll, and it's rumored that she was at one point a Jedi Master herself before turning to the dark side, although I disagree with that. She looks a little too young to be honest. Leia Organa. While Luke Skywalker is certainly the most well-known Jedi of his family, his sister Leia started down her own Force-using path before the sequel trilogy, with Luke serving as her master, revealed in a flashback scene in The Rise of Skywalker. She also did do her best to share her teachings with Rey during Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, although she met her unfortunate end during that film following the late Carrie Fisher's passing in 2016. Lastly, Kylo Ren is featured in this teaser. Before he became one of the many villains of the sequel trilogy, Adam Driver's Kylo Ren was a young Jedi youngling learning the ways of the Force in his youth, even donning a blue lightsaber to fight the dark side in Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. He became one of Luke Skywalker's Padawan before Luke lost his way, and Ben Solo used his teachings to help redeem himself before meeting his end in the fight with Palpatine that closed the entirety of the Skywalker saga. This here all being said, while it's unlikely that the Jedi Order will be restored or brought back to power in Ahsoka, there will unquestionably be some signs of the Knight's power, with nearly half a dozen of the aforementioned characters being included in the series. Whether it's flashbacks, name drops, or Force ghosts, it's all up in the air and something totally that could happen. Additionally, set photos have teased that Ahsoka will revisit her past at the ruins of an old Jedi temple, with her history from the animated shows and other live-action series influencing her own journey in her own solo series. Just how much influence the Jedi will have other than the plot itself is still unknown, but with Ahsoka at the center of the plot, that legacy is sure to get a new chapter in some form with her deep ties to these Star Wars central heroes. This all being said, I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about this new teaser for the Ahsoka series, and what characters do you want to see in the Ahsoka series? I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, guys. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.